Today, President Biden made an enormously consequential announcement, issuing the largest federal pardon in more than 40 years.
As I said when I ran for president, no one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana. I'm announcing a pardon for all prior federal offenses for the simple possession of marijuana. There are thousands of people who are convicted for marijuana possession who may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities as a result of that conviction. My pardon will remove this burden on them.
The pardon will affect over 6,500 people across the country, none of whom are currently in prison. The president called on governors to make similar action for state offenses. Now, the last time we saw anything like this was back in 1977 when Jimmy Carter pardoned the Vietnam War draft dodgers. In addition to the pardons, President Biden announced a new review into how marijuana is classified by the federal government, which helps determine charges and penalties.
The federal government currently classifies marijuana as a Schedule I substance, the same as heroin and LSD, and more serious than fentanyl. It makes no sense. So I'm asking the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Attorney General to initiate a process to review how marijuana is scheduled under federal law.
Rescheduling marijuana is something advocates have been calling for years. This would be the beginning of looking into that process. So it is truly a historic day. The president takes a big step towards making good on his campaign promise to decriminalize marijuana. It's been a remarkable evolution, we should say, for Joe Biden, who was very much a drug warrior earlier in his career. In 1989, he delivered the Democratic response to an address by President Bush on anti-drug policy and argued it didn't go far enough.
I think the president has to join us in making a significantly greater commitment to these 6 areas to stem the rising tide of violence in America. And that's what it is, violence. First, we have to join together to ensure that drug dealers are punished swiftly, surely, and severely. And in line with what the president is calling for, we have to hold every drug user accountable. Because if there were no drug users, there would be no appetite for drugs and there'd be no market for them.
Wild, right? Biden came to his current position on marijuana quite slowly and gradually over the decades as the negative effects of the drug war have become more and more apparent, and importantly, as the politics around drugs have changed significantly. According to Gallup polling, the percentage of Americans who think marijuana use should be legal has exploded from 23% back in the mid-'80s to 68% as of 2021. And so, with just over a month to go before the midterms, Joe Biden has achieved the rarest thing in politics, a win-win. That is good for people, good on the merits, good policy, and also good politics.